kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. Against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Khorinis was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day, another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you!
Keep silent. Right, send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up. I'm Diego.
I'm
not interested in who you are. You've just arrived. I look after the new arrivals. That's all for now. If you plan to stay alive for a while, you should talk to me. But of course, I won't keep you from choosing your own destruction. Well, what do you think?
Okay, what do I need to know about this place?
We call it the colony. You'll know already that we produce ore for the king. Well, at least we do, in the old camp. There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
How do I get to the old camp?
You just follow this path. The old camp is the next reasonably safe-looking place you'll come across. There are a lot of wild beasts between the camps. You'd be mad to walk around without a weapon.
Where do I get a weapon?
When you get to the old mine, have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something useful. The mine is easy to find. It's just a few meters along the canyon.
Why did you help me?
Because you needed help. Otherwise, Bullet and his boys might have killed you. And I couldn't just stand by and watch, because I came all this way to make a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yes. After this little incident with Bullet and his guys, you should be aware now that you need protection. Everyone who arrives here has a choice. There are 3 camps in the colony, and you'll have to join one of them. I'm here to show the new ones that the old camp is the best place for them.
Where's Bullet now?
He and the others bring the goods from the outside world into the camp. You'll find him there. But if you plan to fight him, be careful. He's an experienced warrior.
I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
Really?
I was given it by a mage shortly before they threw me in here.
You're lucky I can't afford to show my face around the mages anymore. Anyone else would gladly slit your throat for that letter. That's because the mages pay their couriers a lot, and most people here don't have anything. If I were you, I'd shut up until I met one of the mages. Although in your situation, that's not likely to happen.
Why not?
The mages are in the castle in the old camp. Only Gomez's people are allowed to enter the castle.
Who's Gomez?
Gomez is the most powerful ore baron. He's the boss of the old camp, the most powerful man in the colony.
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
At the gate of the castle, you'll find a man called Thoris. Tell him Diego sent you.
Thanks for your help.
We'll meet in the old camp.
Alright, so welcome to the colony. This is where our journey begins. In the beginning, it's a good idea to pick up all the items from the ground because we'll use them for ore later on, or even consume them, especially for life. One thing that is worth mentioning about Gothic is that all the actions involve holding left click and then pressing the forward key, in my case is W. So if you'd like to pick up items from the ground or talk to people, you have to hold left click and press forward key. A very cool aspect of Gothic is that it is possible to meet very strong enemies very early on, and a lot of the early NPCs will let you know what some of the more dangerous areas are. As a general rule, staying near the roads and near the main camps is usually pretty safe, and the further away you go from them, the more dangerous it becomes. In order to loot chests, you have to again hold left click and press forward key, which is W, and to loot the chest you have to again hold left click and press the right movement key, which in my case is D. If you want to loot them faster, you can hold shift and the right movement key. Combat is the same way as interacting and looting. You hold left click and you press the movement keys. If you time it correctly, left and right is going to do these left-right swings, which you can do them continuously and they're sort of effective. And if you time forward movement key correctly, it does some sort of combat animation, and as you progress through your combat ranks, as you train more, it will become more powerful. But in the beginning, just timing left and right correctly will get you pretty far. Climbing and jumping is a little bit different. You have to hold right click instead of the usual left click and press W. It's of course the best practice to save as often as possible and in different slots, because you never know what can happen. as you can see, if you combine forward attack, it actually moves you closer to the enemy. So if you time it correctly with left and right swing, it can become a pretty powerful combo that prevents the enemy from attacking you. A very important aspect of combat is blocking by holding left click and the back movement key, in this case is S. And blocking helps you against both weapons and creature attacks, except for of course ranged and magical attacks. One very important thing to note is that the damage and armor values are absolute. So if you have 20 armor and the opponent has 10 damage, you will not take any damage whatsoever. So finding a lot of gear, of defensive gear early on is extremely important, otherwise you'll pretty much die from everything. And of course, if you find a lot of defensive gear, more areas will become available to you because you'll be able to defeat the monsters. So in the exact same way, if your weapon is not strong enough, most of the monsters will not take any damage at all. So if you encounter something that you cannot damage, your only option is to turn around and run as fast as you can.
Hey, you.
What do you want?
I want to warn you, if you continue this way, you'll be entering our hunting ground.
What do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. There's a lot of meat on them. Besides, it ain't too hard to get them, once you know how.
Really? How's that?
Ask my friend Drax here. He knows more about these things than anyone.
Why is this area so dangerous?
You've just arrived, haven't you? There are different areas in this colony which are all more or less dangerous. The paths between the camps are quite safe, but even there you might come across some wolves which look on you as easy prey. And that's exactly what you are until you get a proper weapon and armor.
Where can I get better equipment?
The nearest place is that old camp. Just follow the path that brought you here. But you can get the stuff cheaper in our new camp, provided you know the right people. If you go to the old camp, ask for Mordrag. He's one of us. For just a little ore, he'll sell you the proper goods.
Tell me more about the areas of the colony.
If you travel between the camps, you'll need a map to distinguish paths and dead ends. Dead ends often lead you to dangerous canyons where you encounter creatures you'd better avoid. Do not enter the old ruins. There are too many around here, and most of them are old fortifications dating back to the time of the First Orc War. Some are abandoned orc dwellings. There are often orcs in those ruins, or even worse creatures. I'd avoid those places, especially at night. And one more hint, don't go into the forest.
Where do I get a map?
Ask the people in the old camp. There's a cartographer living there. Maybe you can steal one of his maps. If you manage to do it, take one from me as well.
Why? Doesn't he sell the maps?
If you get enough ore to pay for them.
Thanks for your help.
Don't go thinking everyone's gonna be so friendly, kid. There may not be much in a newcomer's pockets, but some folks would even beat you up for a pickaxe.
I'll keep it in mind. You're hunting, aren't you?
Looks like it. What do you want?
Do you have some hints for the hunt?
I could teach you a few things, but everything has its price.
Which would be how much?
A good gulp of beer will do to start with, then we'll see.
Here you are. Take a beer and tell me about hunting.
Scavengers. That's what we call the big birds. Should be attacked one after the other. It's easy to lure single scavengers from the pack. If you come too close, they'll become irritated. After a while, they'll storm in your direction. At this point, you should be waiting for them with a raised weapon. If you manage to strike the beast before it hits you, you have to keep fighting. Then you'll be able to defeat the creature without being hurt yourself. If it hits you first, well, just don't let him.
What else can you tell me about hunting?
A lot, but it'll cost you more than a beer. If you know how, you can take the creature's teeth, claws, and skin. It's hard to get them, but they are valuable. At least every merchant will trade those things with you.
You're demanding a lot for your advice.
Possibly, but you can earn a lot of ore with this knowledge. All the animals you kill without knowing how to cut them up will just rot away. That's a wasted opportunity of skinning them and selling the fur at a high price. If I were you, I'd try to gain this knowledge as soon as possible.
So just like he said, the sooner you get skinning, the more money you make. So it's a very important ability to learn early on. And this is exactly what I will be focusing on.
Hi, I'm new here.
How nice for you.
Is that the old camp over there?
No, that's the new camp. The old camp is underneath the bridge. Let me
The first time I played this game when I was a kid, I didn't actually understand sarcasm, so I really thought that was the new camp and the old camp was underneath this bridge. And I was actually going to look underneath this bridge. So my friends made a lot of fun of me because of that. So this is in fact the old camp we are about to enter. A lot of these plants and food we pick up are good early game, but they don't scale at all into a late game, which is when we will have to rely on potions instead.
Where do you think you're going?
To the camp.
You ain't come to make trouble, have you?
Diego says I'm to meet him in the camp.
Okay, in you go then.
It's a good idea not to be a smartass or to be disrespectful to the guards because they'll beat you, and you don't really stand any chance against them. At least not for now.
Well, how's it going?
What do you want?
Tell me something about the old camp.
It's the biggest and most powerful of the three camps. Gomez and his guys control the camp and thereby the whole ore trade. Once a month, the king sends us everything we need. We've got the old guy in our grip, you understand? He sends us wine, bread, meat, weapons, everything. You can also get some of it. All you have to do is join Gomez's people.
What about the two other camps?
The two other camps split up to pursue their crazy escape plans. There's the new camp in the west of the colony, where the mages think they can just detonate the barrier as soon as they've scraped enough ore together. And then there's the sect loonies in the east. Their camp is in the middle of the swamp, and they're praying to their idol to set them free. He hasn't responded so far. If I were you, I wouldn't waste my time on those madcaps.
Tell me more about the barrier.
There isn't much to tell. It's impenetrable.
What happens if I just walk out of here?
The last one who tried that reached the other side a dead man. This damn barrier lets you in, but you'll never get out of here.
If there's a way out, I'll find it.
You're already in a rush to get out of here? But you've only just arrived.
Take care. I want to work for Gomez.
Oh, yeah? And what makes you think Gomez will be interested in having you work for him?
Diego says you decide who Gomez is interested in.
Huh? If Diego thinks you're okay, why doesn't he take care of you? Look, let me explain. Diego's gonna test you. If he thinks you're good enough, I'll let you into the castle to see Gomez. Whatever happens after that is up to you, okay?
I'll talk to Diego. Why don't you give me the test?
It ain't that easy, kid. Any newcomer who wants to get anywhere needs a patron. That patron has to be one of Gomez's people. He'll test you. And if you fail, you're his responsibility. That's the law around here.
There must be something you want done.
No. The things we guards deal with are a bit above you, kid. You just stick to the tasks your patron sets for you.
I'm quite capable of doing anything you tell me to.
Oh, so you're intent on failing, eh? There is one thing that only someone who's not with Gomez can see to. But I'm warning you, you blow this and you'll be in mighty big trouble.
I'm ready for your task.
What I'm about to tell you is between you and me, and nobody else must ever hear about it. Understood?
Sure.
We have a problem with a guy from the new camp. His name's Mordrag. He's been stealing from the ore barons. Of course, that applies to a lot of the rogues in the new camp. But this guy has the nerve to come to our camp and sell our stolen goods to our boys. He's gone too far. But he knows I can't do anything about it.
Why?
Because he's under the protection of the mages.
That wasn't very clever.
Where can I find Mordrag?
You'll find him at the south gate on the other side of the castle, just beyond the entrance. The bastard wouldn't dare come any further into the camp.
I'll take care of it. You don't look as though you'd just let anyone get into the castle.
Only Gomez's men are allowed in the castle.
You're very probably right.
I've talked to Thoris.
And what did he say?
He says that I can join the old camp if you think that I'm good enough.
Looks like I have myself a new job.
Do we start right now?
First, there are a few things you should know.
What do I have to know to be accepted in the old camp?
If you want to join the camp, you'll have to earn some brownie points. There are a few influential people in the outer ring. Most of them are shadows. If you manage to impress them, it'll earn you a few brownie points. Then you'll have to stand the test of faith. Besides, there are a lot of skills every new arrival has to learn. The more you learn, the more valuable you'll be for us.
Where do I find the important people?
Well, you're looking at one of them. Then there's Thoris. You already know him. As for the others, you'll have to find that out by yourself. If you don't manage to do that, you don't belong here anyway. Just go through the outer ring and talk to people. Then you'll find out who's important.
Who can teach me?
Start with Fingers. He's the most skillful among us. If you keep your eyes peeled, you'll find other people who can teach you.
Where can I find Fingers?
His hut's kind of hidden. It's next to the castle wall. Just start out here and go towards the arena. When you're at the castle gate, go down to the left and you'll be heading for the arena.
What's the test of faith?
You have to go to the old mine. There you'll meet a guy called Ian. He'll give you a list. This list is important. It contains all the items the guys in the mine need from us. They'll get the stuff with the next convoy.
No problem.
Yes, there is a problem. The new camp must not get that list. Like I said, the list is important. If you do it right, you'll get much further.
If the list is so important, why should Ian give it to me?
Because you're going to tell him Diego sent you.
I'll tell him. Where can I find the old mine?
Go to Graham. He's a cartographer. Tell him that I sent you and that you need a map. It'll show you the way to the mine. He lives to the left of the north gate.
Can you teach me something?
Yes, I can teach you to improve your dexterity or your strength. Come back soon. There are many things.
Take care. I am new here.
Just arrived, have you? I'm Grim. I haven't been here for long either. I was thrown in with the load before you.
What's life like here?
Easy going. As long as you pay your share of protection money to the guards. Things would have gone very differently.
What do I have to do if I want to get admitted to this camp?
Well, first of all, you have to become a shadow. Therefore, you have to find somebody who supports you, somebody who explains everything to you and takes responsibility for you. If I was you, I'd try to keep close to Diego. I did it like that. He's quite all right. He'll make you take the test of faith. That's different from everybody. Then there'll be some other smaller tasks from other shadows. If you manage them, you'll be with us.
I'm not listening to your blathering anymore.
And how far have you got with your tests?
I've already talked to Dexter and Sly and Fingers. They are some of the most influential shadows here in the camp.
You're very probably right.
And how far have you got?
I've already...
People always talk.
What was your test of faith?
I can't tell you, man. You have to be silent about things like that here.
It's obvious there'd be trouble ahead.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble.
Before we join any camp, I'll show you what all the camps look like and what their ideology is, so I have a better idea. Also, by visiting all the camps, you get more experience which is very important early on. You'll notice that the entire old camp is basically a ring, which is split up between the lower side and the upper side, and generally it's a good idea to avoid the upper side, at least at first, because the guards will harass you for protection money.
Hi, I'm new here.
What do you want from me?
I want to become one of you. I want to join the camp.
Looking for people to support you, eh? If you want me to have a word with Diego about you, you need to do me a favor.
What kind of favor do you want?
I want one of Fisk's weapons. He's one of the traders at the marketplace. He won't sell it to me. It's a broadsword with ornaments. I'll give you 100 ore to collect the weapon for me, but don't tell him about me.
Okay, give me the 100 ore nuggets. I'll get the thing.
Here you go. Come straight back to me.
Hey man, I'm Fisk. I trade goods of all kinds. If you ever need anything, you're in the right place here.
Have you got armor for me as well?
Well, I'm sure that I can satisfy you.
We'll make sure to buy some armor later when we can afford it.
I'd like to buy a sword, but not just a simple one. I'd like something more ornamental.
I have one you'll like. The Shadow who wanted to collect it won't be coming anymore. That'll be 110 ore. Interested?
Yes, I'll take it.
I fear you don't have enough ore. I'll hold the sword back for some time.
Maybe. Show me your.
So this ornamental sword is one of the best swords you can actually get early game. So I don't intend to actually deliver it very soon. I'll be using it for quite a while. When trading, you basically select the items from your inventory and you put them into the middle screen, which actually acts like a basket. And you have to make sure that the values in the middle match. Otherwise, the trader will not accept the transaction, but you can put more value on your side and he will accept it. Of course, the reverse is not true.
I'd like to buy a.
I have that.
Yes, I'll take it.
You got a good.
So there we go. 20 damage for 15 strength is a great sword to have right now, and we'll be using that for quite a while.
The sleeper be with you, stranger. I'm here to guide you onto the right path.
And which is the right path?
The path of the sleeper. He alone has the power to set us free. The gurus are preparing a great invocation in our camp. They want to get in contact with the sleeper. So far, he's just talked to us in visions, but now it's time to get in touch with him. We'll need as many supporters as possible for that. By focusing our spiritual power, we'll get through to him. Our camp is some distance away in the swamp. I can take you there though, if you want.
What would be the benefit of joining you?
Maybe you're one of the chosen people who received the gift of magic from the sleeper. Or you might obtain the highest honors and become a Templar. Only the best fighters among us can obtain that position. If the sleeper is with you, you can even combine both. The best of the Templars receive the gift of magic as well. You see, our brotherhood has a lot of possibilities for you. You should be aware of that before you decide on joining any other camp.
Who's the sleeper?
The sleeper speaks to us through dreams and visions. He has been leading us ever since he first made contact with Iberian 5 years ago. All the followers of the Brotherhood have renounced the three gods. We pray only to the sleeper for salvation.
Salvation from what?
From this goddamn place, of course. The sleeper will show us the way to freedom.
What did the sleeper tell you?
He guided us to the swamp, to the old temple ruins. That's where we built our camp. He gave us independence. None of us need to labor in the mines. He showed us what swampweed can do. We sell it to the other camps, and in exchange, we get everything we need. And he gave some of us the gift of magic, of an old and powerful magic, which is different from the one the magicians of the realm use.
Tell me about the magic of the sleeper.
This gift enables you to control things with the power of your mind. Only the gurus of our brotherhood have been initiated into the secrets of this magic.
Let's talk about I thought that had been cleared up ages ago.
Because we're missing 5 strength to equip that sword, we're going to talk to Diego and ask him to train us a little bit.
Can you teach me something?
Yes. Your strength has increased. Come back soon.
But keep it to yourself.
You always talk.
Take care.
You have to watch what you tell people. I'm not listening to all that. You're very...
I doubt that's ever likely to change.
I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, though.
How are you doing?
Well, since I stopped working in the mine, I can't really complain.
And where do you get your ore from?
I help people who have problems. If you get into trouble with influential people here, I can help you sort the thing out.
Hang on, better not go rushing into anything.
If I was in trouble, you could help me? How?
Well, let's assume you're in trouble with Thoris. You better never get into trouble with him, but then, well, you never know. Thoris can be quite stubborn. When he's pissed off with you once, he'll never talk to you again. And that's a bad thing. As a greenhorn, you depend on him. So you come to see me. I know a lot of people here Thoris listens to. They put in a good word for you, and Thoris is your friend again. Of course, the boys want to see some ore for these kind of favors. Your ore. And I take care that your ore gets to the right people.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Could you tell me which of the shadows belongs to the influential people here?
You want to impress the right people, do you? Diego has the most power of all the shadows. He trusts Fingers, Whistler, and Sly. Dexter and Fisk sell their stuff on the market square. They have many customers, even the guards, and that makes them rather influential. And then there's Scatty. He's in charge of the arena and determines who fights and all that. Many people here owe him ore. He's important as well.
Because Diego is such a good guy, unlike most trainers, he does not charge us with any ore for training us, which is great. The plan right now is to save as much ore as possible so we can train into skinning reptiles and animals. That will pay off in the long run.
I wouldn't like...
Hey, you! I trade in swampweed and potions from the sect camp. Do you want something?
What is swampweed?
New here, are ya? You can smoke it. Very relaxing for most of us.
I want to join the camp. I want to become a shadow.
Oh, you're looking for a chance to prove your worth? Good. You can do me a favor. If you do it well, I'll speak up for you in front of Diego.
What is it?
In the sect camp, there's a man called Kalam, quite a big shot. One of the gurus of the sect. Kalam is an alchemist. He has the recipe for an effective healing potion. I'd like to buy the recipe off him. Then I can produce it myself. But nobody can get near Kalam.
And what do you expect me to do?
The sect loonies are looking for new people all the time. You're new here. Just pretend you want to be recruited. Kalam is one of the gurus. That means he checks the new candidates. If you get in touch with him, try to get the recipe. Whether you want to pay for it or you don't, I don't care.
Okay, I'll see if I can get the thing. Where is the sect camp?
Leave the camp through the south exit, then head eastwards. You'd better take a map. I got one here for 50 ore.
The south exit is the collapsed tower, isn't it?
Exactly.
Show me your goods.
I got the best stuff here.
Rely on somebody? That's really not my problem.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how it goes. I'm not listening to all that blathering any idiotic.
Hey, newcomer. I'm Mordrag. You should remember that name. You can buy any kind of goods from me at a cheap price.
Show me your goods.
Choose something.
You have a problem.
Really? What's that?
There are people around here who want to get rid of you.
Really? Then you can tell them they should send someone along to enforce their wish.
What makes you so sure I'm not the one to do it?
'Cause I think you're smarter than that, boy. You'll soon realize that there are better opportunities than working for Gomez. We, too, need capable people in the new camp, and nobody tells you what to do.
Tell me more about the new camp.
It's the camp where you have the most freedom within the colony. We don't have any ore barons or gurus bossing us around. We have our own mine, but the ore that is produced there isn't given to the damn king.
So what is it used for?
Our magicians are working on a plan to break out of here. All the ore is collected for this plan. While Gomez and his people are lazing around, we drudge for freedom. That's what's going on.
And if I wanted to join the new camp, could you help me?
If you're serious, we can go now. I can take you to Laris. He's the head of our gang. But if you prefer to beat me out of the camp, well, go for it.
Let's go to the new camp.
Okay, follow me.
So going to the new camp with Mordrag is very good early on, because he kills everything on his path and we get all the experience for free. And of course, picking up items along the way is a good idea as well. So this dead guard has an amulet of protection, and as I mentioned previously, stacking as much defense or protection early on will help you a great deal in staying alive. There's no need to help Mordrag in combat because he's strong enough and he can handle everything by himself. So the best thing to do is just to loot the corpses and loot all the plants on the way to the new camp.
What are you doing out here?
I'm a hunter. Above all, I hunt scavengers.
Where will I get a bow?
Here, I sell the best bows in the old camp.
Show me your good. Can you teach me something about hunting?
That depends. What do you want to know?
So Cavalron here can sell you bows if you intend to play as an archer, and he also teaches you how to sneak, which is very important to have, irrespective of what kind of playthrough you want to have. But instead of buying a bow from here, we can actually get one for free. This little cave behind his ranch is where we can find a free bow. instead of just paying him 40 ore. I won't be using the bow very much, but it's good to see enemies from a distance, especially if you're in a forest and there's a lot of plants around and visibility is generally reduced.
What are you doing here?
I'm a hunter. I make a living out of selling skins and teeth.
Does it pay?
If you know how to cut up the beast the right way, yeah.
I want to learn how to cut up animals.
What do you want to know?
If a chest is locked, you can hold left click and press left and right to find the correct combination. It's also a good idea to save beforehand. You can cheat scam it, I suppose, by saving and loading, but you'll find plenty of lockpicks, so that's not necessary. Hello.
Well, here we are. When you pass through the gate, you'll reach the new camp. Talk to Lars. He will help you. Give this to him. It's a precious ring. It's your ticket to see Lars. You need a good reason to be allowed to meet him. Well, thinking about it, I think I'll stay here for some time. I've earned enough for now, and things are heating up in the old camp. If you want, come and meet me at the bar. It's the hut out on the lake. Take care.
See you.
I'm not listening to all that.
So now that we have reached the new camp, I'll end the video here, and in the next video we'll continue to explore the new camp. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next episode.